Greetings to all of you on the occasion of the International Day for Biological Diversity. As all of you know, we are celebrating this day all over the globe on May 22nd every year since 2002 based on a theme, identified theme. And this year's theme for the International Biodiversity Day is Building a Shared Future for All Life. The slogan itself means, all life on earth means it is denoting the biological diversity. The biological diversity is the variety and variability of all organisms on earth and the ecosystems, the varieties of or variations in the ecosystems where they coexist. And biological diversity is defined hierarchically at the three levels. One is at the species level, then below the species level it is the genetic diversity, and above the species it is the ecosystem diversity. And why this is being celebrated? Because that actually shows the importance of biodiversity not only for the human's survival and its well-being, his well-being, but also for the continuous sustenance of the entire planet. Because that biodiversity, the varieties of plants, microbes and animal species, including the insects, they are the most of the pollinators of our crops, food plants. Without that we can't imagine a life on earth. And this biodiversity actually sustains the life on earth, maintaining all the required processes, ecological processes, ecosystem services required for the sustenance and maintenance of the entire planet. Besides the food we eat, the clothes we wear, the medicines you have during your problematic situations in diseases, and other material requirements for the human life, biodiversity also renders so many direct and indirect ecosystem services such as maintaining the soil, air and water quality, and also maintaining the climate on the globe. Because of this importance, biodiversity has been of attention for the intergovernmental organizations, and Convention on Biological Diversity is a legal instrument under which we are celebrating the International Day of Biodiversity every year. And why this has become important? Because having served the importance of biodiversity for our biosphere or planet or earth and the human being, but what is happening to this biodiversity is of matter of concern. Because there is a recent global report which is called the Intergovernmental Science Policy Platform Assessment Report, the Global Biodiversity Assessment Report, which is a recent one in 2019. It actually showcases the importance of biodiversity, what is happening progressively on enhancing the biodiversity, but also it cautions and give us strategic actions required for maintaining biodiversity and stopping what is happening to the decline or decrease of the ecosystem services and the species extinctions and habitat degradation and so on, that is actually affecting the human and other life on earth. That is why this slogan is important, that human being as a central species in the ecosystem, we have been responsible for what is happening good to earth or good to biodiversity, and also we are equally responsible for what is happening to the biodiversity, because what is happening today in terms of species extinction, ecosystem degradation, climate change, which is actually going to be a little disastrous for even for the survival of human and other species, which is actually accelerated by human actions. So in all the scenarios, human being, we the central, we have been also responsible for the changes in or the loss of biodiversity, and the drivers of biodiversity is being maintained by the human action. And for increasing the understanding of biodiversity and also making aware of the people entire the globe, this Biodiversity Day is being celebrated. It's not merely for the scientists or academicians, it is actually every citizen's responsibility, including students, teachers, and the local community people or the indigenous people, policy makers, government officials. Everybody's concern is there. Unless we collectively do something towards stopping or preventing what is happening in terms of decline of biodiversity, nothing concrete will happen. In spite of having a lot of legal policy instruments internationally and also nationally, we have several milestones to go. We have set several targets to achieve, like the biodiversity targets, the sustainable development goals targets, and everything is being correlated with the Convention on Biological Diversity and the biodiversity action plans and so on. And during this celebrating this International Biodiversity Day 2022, the convention has suggested 22 action points, which we can simply touch upon the major ones. But as citizens and especially as students in the schools or colleges, what we can take up. The first one is clean up an area around you. That you can do anything which is possible near this one. If you go to a park, if you go to a botanic garden, if you go to a street side, just start cleaning something which directly or indirectly will benefit the enhancing or protecting the biodiversity. Similarly, another is restore an area near or far of your area, just like planting native trees, plants, shrubs, or other plants on the area. And one important attention everyone has to take, especially students, they go for picnic or outside, for seeing the plants or animals. Take only pictures. Don't pluck the flowers or the plants and don't destroy them. So that is one of the actions you can take. And also help animals, big or small. If there is a problem, a stray dog or any animal is getting some problematic thing, keep alert the animal shelter house, or you try to rescue them. And there are many such action plans. Prevent the spread of zoonotic diseases, plant native trees and shrubs and plants, and most important responsible action should be from all of us should be consume responsibly. Consume responsibly means you do not go for packed foods or other alternative kind of artificial drinks and foods, because so many local foodstuffs are around you. Local grains are there, local vegetables are there, local millets are there. You make a healthy habit of having it, so that it is good to maintain those local varieties also, and it is also good to save biodiversity, save your health. That is also very important. Save energy is another important action point to be observed and for creating awareness on the biodiversity. This can be done, if you are using and if you are happen to pollute more with the vehicular emissions, you use it minimally wherever it is required. Otherwise, you walk up to your workplace, or you go for cycling, and also then do not waste, what you really use it. And another one is share. Whatever information, whatever resources you can have, you can share it. And also then you buy products which are biodiversity friendly, and also help someone quit smoking. And there are many other rest of the points are there. We can go to see it from the convention site, So if we are able to do any of this, it is something that as a citizen, as a student, or as a teacher, or as an academician, or a scientist, wherever you are in any walks of life, it will be something better to create, enhance awareness on biodiversity. Thank you very much, and support biodiversity.